Holy crap, there's a lot of people in here really quickly.
Hello.
I've come to the conclusion that my computer does not like, streaming.
Most computers aren't designed for it. It actually requires a lot of power.
That makes me upset. I might have to buy a new computer soon.
Oh, it depends on a couple things. One, how good is your internet? What's your upstream downstream?
Good enough, let's put it that way.
All right.
Like, I've done the transmission test specifically using, whatever the hell this program is.
And okay,
So it's the computer itself that has the problem. Like, I know that it's the computer that's the problem.
you might only need to upgrade your video card.
I think I'm probably gonna need to upgrade more than that. My RAM is pretty low,
Yeah.
and in order to be able to upgrade my RAM, then I have to upgrade my motherboard.
At which point you might as well just get a new one.
Right, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking of doing a new computer, probably getting you and Chrissy to help, and probably investing, what, think $1,000 would do it?
No.
No? How much should I be looking at?
Let's see. For streaming, you're gonna want a really good vid card. The key thing with streaming is there's two important things. Well, for recording, you want hard drive space. For streaming, you want video throughput and network throughput. I'm thinking, hold on, that got a build saved. It's fairly recent. Where is it? Just a moment while I look this up.
It's cool. I'm starting my run.
Okay. Probably about 1,500, I'd say. 1,000 to 1,500 would be good.
This is my eyebrows going up at the moment.
A full third of it is the video card.
That doesn't have an solid state drive on, does it?
Actually, yes, it does.
Okay, so that's gonna help.
Yeah, of note, solid states are only for your OS, not
Yeah.
for streaming.
Yeah, no, I know. But I was thinking about getting one for my OS anyways.
Yeah, the solid states aren't too bad. 120 gigs is typically about 60 to 90 bucks now. You're probably also going to want at least 4 gigs worth of platter drives.
I wouldn't mind having that much onboard space, I will say that much.
Yeah, and platter drives are not very expensive anymore. Like, I've seen 4 gig, or not gigs, I've seen 4 tera drives or multiple lower tera drives going on sale for under 100.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally pull that money together, just the question is when. But,
The
right now,
longer it takes you to do it, the cheaper the parts get.
the cheaper the parts get, yeah. Well, something that I'm thinking about, so, have I, during any of the, you're on your laptop, aren't you?
Yes, and
Thought so.
you are not sharing video.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, there's a bit of an echo, and it's distracting me a little bit.
Let me see if did that do it? Did that get rid of it?
Wait. Nah, that's quieter now. And now it's gone. Cheers.
I just moved my screen back a little further from the speakers and lowered your volume slightly.
That helps. Have I talked about the whole car bullshit at all on stream?
I don't think so on
or on
stream.
any recording. I think I saved it because I was waiting until it was all done.
But yeah, some loon rammed your
Oh
vehicle.
no! No, you got to tell it right. I've developed the telling style over the past couple
was
of
a
months.
dog and stole me.
No,
guys.
it wasn't actually. That's a sad thing. So,
It was
as
a bright and sunshiny day.
it was
Have the
that's
right-
that's absolutely true. Is
It
the
was
thing.
fucking beautiful out, and then some douchebag
That's
comes
exact-
stealing out
So
of
wait,
nowhere
wait,
decides he wants my parking
No, wait,
space
wait.
and parks on top of my car.
No, it's better than that. It's better than that. So first of all, as I've talked about several times on stream and in episodes, I work at a video game store, and this was back in November. So Pokemon was coming out, Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, and I had scheduled myself to not be working that day. It was going to be my one of my 2 days off that week. And because that's just how the schedule ended up shaking out. That's when availability was happening with my associates, my other key holders. Keep in mind that at the time I was essentially acting as a store manager, so it was I was doing everything, and so I had to be there. And so I was told that no, you cannot just not be here on a release day. You have to be in this store. You only have to be in here for like 5 hours, but you got to be in the store. And I'm like, God damn it. So we altered my schedule, so I wasn't working as much on other days, but I only got 1 day off that week. So I get to pull a Clerks. I was not even supposed to be there that day. So I got there bright and early. I opened my store, got there at about 9 o'clock, got everything set up, parked my car, and you got to understand. So I work in a strip mall, and in the parking lot in front of the strip mall immediately in front of the strip mall is a set of parking spaces, right? Then you have a small area for driving, just like enough for like 1.5 lanes. Then you have the double layered parking spaces, just 2 cars facing each other. Mm-hmm. And then past the 2 layers is, once again, that was a really good Monstro. Past those double layer parking spaces, you have another lane for people to drive on. And what I do, and I've been doing this for years, this is nothing new for me. What I typically do is I will park out as far as I possibly can away from the store to ensure that customers get the preferential parking spaces. I don't mind, it makes me walk a little bit. So, I also have a habit of not parking near anybody. And this is important because I had a brand new car. Brand new. I had owned it for hey, Therian Slam, how's it going? I had owned this car for about 3 months. It was brand goddamn new. It had 9 miles on it when I bought it. So it was a new car. I was very happy. It was the first new car I've ever owned, the first car I have ever bought. Financed it all on my own. It was all me, and I was very, very happy with myself. So I'd park it way out. So wow, that's shitty luck. So we're sitting,
I'm surprised you haven't just hit R yet, because...
Monster's Tooth is fine.
Dianolo, gameplay.
Yeah, gameplay. So, so I'm there on the day of Pokemon's launch, and it's about, we open at 10. It was about 11:50 or so, and I was, so I'm the only one in the store. The only one. And it's not that busy, and I've worked at this company for a number of years. I kind of know what I'm doing. So me being the only one there that morning, not that big of a deal, honestly. I had it covered, there was no issues. So I'm taking care of these 2 boys and getting them, getting them taken care of, getting them their games. And all of a sudden, we hear squealing of tires outside. And, after hearing the squealing of tires, we hear a big crash. Then the party lights on a nearby police car goes up. And then we see him stop. And the boys are noticing this more than I am because I'm taking care of the actual transaction. They're just waiting while I get their stuff taken care of. So they look up and they go, oh, wow. It looks like something's going on outside. And I looked up for a second, not really thinking about it, and went, yeah, stuff happens. We also work, we're right across the street from a Walmart. So there's, occasionally shoplifting and stuff. And that's kind of what I was thinking. All of a sudden, though, it kind of dawns on both of us that, this is
really close.
This is really close. And then I kind of, I guess, mentally replayed what I had heard. I heard there was a crash, and all of a sudden I realized that there was an accident out there. But, you know, I'm at work, there's nothing I can do, I'm the only one there, and there's a police officer already there. Yes, party lights. That is a phrase, actually, you're the second person to really catch on that. That is a phrase that my best friend actually started using up in Colorado, and I've used it ever since. And actually, when I was telling the story to a police officer, I used the phrase "party lights." He looked at me all weird, and he goes, "Party lights?" And I said, "Yeah." And I explained the concept to him, and he goes, "Okay, I'm going to use that from now on." Yeah, he really liked the concept. So
It's a good phrase.
it's a really good phrase. So you know, I noticed what was happening, and then the boys looked up and they went, "Oh wow, it looks like there was an accident. I wonder whose car got involved." I looked up, saw exactly where the officer was, and went, "It's mine." And they went, "Are you sure?" And I went, "Yeah, it has to be. I'm working today. It has to be mine." And that's actually exactly what ended up happening. So what happened was my car was parked. You have to understand, I take very special care to park correctly, to make sure I'm not in other people's way, and also to make sure that my car doesn't get dinged if someone else opens their door badly. So my car was parked. My car got hit so hard. It needs to be understood. My car got hit so hard that it spun 90 degrees and slid up to 2 parking spaces away from where I'm dead. It slid up to 2 parking spaces away from where I actually parked it. That is how hard it got hit. It got hit so hard that this revealed the actual skeleton
shit.
of the car.
Sorry to interrupt your story, Nye, but
Yes, I know.
that is one hell of a start.
Yeah. So
I'm not even gonna say the phrase.
yeah. Anyways, so you know, it spun the car 90 degrees, sent it 2 parking spaces away from where I parked it, and it also revealed the interior skeleton of the side of the car. Multiple windows, almost all the windows were broken, and almost everybody who looked at it instantly said, "This car is totaled." Parked car. So what's also important to note about this is that,
Why would
come on.
you go in? Oh, you've got the hermit. Oh, right.
Why would I go in trance? So,
I've seen you do dumber things.
So, you know, parked car. It gets better, though. So apparently what happened, just outside of my parking lot, and between my parking lot and, how did this spider survive just sitting in the fire just now? Between my parking lot and sorry, not McDonald's parking lot, Walmart's parking lot is a road. It's literally just a connecting road. That's all it does. It only connects, it connects one road to another. It's not even a back street. So, on this road, one woman apparently hit another woman. And then took off. Like, it was a hit and run, the exactly what you'd expect. So she took off. And I guess she tried to turn into my parking lot, thinking that if she went... See you, Deandro. If she went into my parking lot, that she'd get away, and that no one would notice. So she went in my parking lot, and she must have been going approximately 40 miles an hour or so on a 25-mile-an-hour road through a parking lot. So she was going way too fast. And then what ended up happening is she tried to make a right turn, but because she was going so fast, she failed to make the turn appropriately, and that's how she hit my car. Then, after hitting my car, continued to run, hit another car, and that's when she could no longer run. That's when her car failed to continue.
And that's when she bailed on foot.
Oh, I wouldn't have been surprised. But the lucky thing was there was a police officer who was in a GNC just down the strip from my store. He happened to see the entire thing and got her before she could go anywhere. Now, from what I understand, this was a fairly old woman. So it wasn't as if, like, there was much play, you know, she couldn't really go anywhere or anything like that. I never saw the woman because this was at noon. I wasn't off duty until 1, so I never had a chance to actually see anything. Just all I heard, the police officer came and found me. Let me rephrase that. I went out to make sure the police officer knew I was the one who owned the car that got hit, and that, hey, you know, I'm just in this building, but I'm working. I can't get anybody in for a while, so if you need me, this is where I'll be. So they took care of everything. But yeah, completely totaled car.
Police officer even picked up a DS for his kid.
Would not have been surprised, but I think he is one of my regular customers, if I remember correctly. So would not have been surprised.
Cool.
So, the police officers took care of everything for me, so I didn't have to be involved in this nonsense in the first place. Which meant that I didn't have to be very, very upset about all this nonsense. Does this work?
Does that even do anything?
I mean, it works, but it doesn't. Death's Touch doesn't continue. So, so everything got taken care of, and so...
I think that's actually a downgrade for you.
No, it isn't.
Oh, Death Touch doesn't pierce anymore now.
Yes, it does.
Oh. It doesn't look like it.
Yes, it does.
Well, I'll be damned. Yeah, that is pretty good.
The shots start wherever Death Touch hits first. No.
Petrified Poop's better.
For this floor only. So I'll be taking that. I'll be taking Samson's Lock as I leave.
I don't know. The poop is... I've always found it to be quite good in general.
It just... There's not enough poop on future floors to matter.
Ooh, the map. That's usually worth taking. Although, you could donate. You're really, really close to the next milestone.
The next milestone is 900, I believe.
Yeah.
What I need is bombs. I was hoping the shop was going to have bombs. Anyways, so car got totaled. Anyways, so the next thing that happened is that I ended up waiting. Wow, there's a lot of specialty rooms on this floor. Jesus. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Okay, let's just kill this guy really quick, and let's go into this specialty room. I only have one key, damn it.
At least you didn't waste one. There's one in the shop, I think.
Yeah, there's one in the shop. I'm doing it, because if I can get another bomb, we can go into the bedroom. So, so the problem was, my next associate didn't show up until, roughly, 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock, my next associate shows up, and then I'm on the phone in the back room with my insurance company until 3 o'clock. Nothing was wrong. Like, there's...
It's not worth it.
No, but I can do
Death's
this.
Touch.
But I can do that.
Yeah.
That's useless. Give me that. So yeah, nothing was wrong necessarily. It wasn't taking a long time. It was just taking a long time because I had to give them all the details and had to get details from the officers, things like that. They were supposed to send out a tow truck, right? I couldn't stay at the store because I had to get a ride to leave. Well, that sucks. So I just had to get a ride to leave. Which, fine. Not a big deal. My ride didn't show up until 3. So, I go home, and I'm relaxing at home, and I gave instructions for my associates to, hey, if you have any problems, let me know. And my associates were the ones who were going to be meeting the tow truck driver. This is really frightening. My associates were the ones that were going to meet the tow truck driver. I would not be able to be there. So at 8 o'clock, I get a phone call from my associates. Remember, I left at 3. The accident happened at noon, and yeah. I get a call at 3, or at 8. Hey, the tow truck driver hasn't arrived yet. So I have to call my insurance company, who then calls the tow truck driver. Turns out, they got my phone number wrong, and because they couldn't get in touch with me, they didn't feel like picking up the car.
That's...
Because they couldn't be assured that I would be there. I don't even. So, we continue. And, the car gets picked up, the car gets taken back. So then I end up waiting to hear back from, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's so dark. That floor pretty much doomed you just from being unable.
Well, it was just those two things that were running around firing off, and I was still dealing with one that was spawning. So it was pretty much a doomed thing. So yeah, so I end up waiting 2 weeks. Now, the next 2 weeks were really stupid because what we were waiting for is to hear about the total of my car. The problem is I don't pay for rental insurance, and I don't pay for rental insurance for a very simple reason. If I hit you, and it's my fault my car doesn't work, then I should have to pay for my rental. If you hit me, and it's your fault my car doesn't work, you should have to pay for my rental. And that's kind of the way it works. If someone else hits you, their insurance takes care of the rental. So what I was waiting on for 2 weeks was for for my insurance company, who is the same insurance company as the woman who hit me. So, same insurance company. There shouldn't be any communication problems, nothing like that. I had to wait 2 weeks for my insurance company to get the report from police to show that I was not at fault. Parked car. So it took 2 weeks for that to happen, and within 3 days, I had access to that report. The problem was I would have to pay, I think it was $12 to $13 to get the report. So as soon as it was available to me, I said, hey, I can get the report faster. Would you guys pay me back if I paid for the report? And they said, no, I'm sorry, we've already paid for the report, so we wouldn't pay you back. It'll speed things up, but, you're not going to get your money back from us. And so I said, you know what? It can't take that much longer, right? So I'll just wait. No, it took 2 weeks. 2 weeks later...
sorry to interrupt, but on that, I've seen one that's an even worse case of incompetence that occurred in exactly the same cross thing. But basically, the way this particular insurance company worked is they had to receive the information of the other car via fax, right?
Sure.
They had to, as in corporate would not allow them to do anything else. Friend of mine, his car got hit the same way, and they refused to cover it because they could not get the information because they were unable to fax it to themselves because any attempt to do so resulted in a busy fax signal.
And that's where you get to sue the company for not doing what they're supposed to. By contract, they're required to do it. It does not matter what their corporate policy is. So they should have covered him.
Yeah, but it took a long time before he got diddly out of it.
Yeah.
The fact that the reasoning behind it was, we can't fax ourselves.
Oh, wait, I got better. So after 2 weeks, so to this day, I have no idea if they have assigned fault for the car. No, actually, sorry, that's incorrect. They did assign fault. They eventually assigned fault to the woman, as you'd expect, and they did give me a rental car for 3 weeks. They were only going to give it to me for 2 weeks, but because these things weren't finished within 2 weeks, they extended the rental car for another week. So, what needs to be understood about this is that the accident happened in November on the 21st. It was not until 2 weeks later that I had a rental car, so I was borrowing cars from family members to get to work. It was not until, and 3 weeks after that, still waiting to finish this process, I lost the rental car, and then still had to start borrowing cars before the process was complete.
Because of incompetence from insurance.
It gets worse. So the incompetence in question, so before they had even, really gotten down to brass tacks about assigning blame... Oh, whoa, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So before the insurance company had finished really getting to work, they hadn't even gotten down to brass tacks, I get a call from the mechanic, not from the insurance company. I get a call from the mechanic calling me to inform me that, in his estimation, the car is not worth fixing. Brand new car. Not worth fixing, because the car is a $20-ish thousand car, and the work would have cost $16,000. In Louisiana, that is the definition of being totaled. It's totaled if the work to fix the car would be, I believe it's 80 or 75%. Oh, wow. Okay. If the total cost to repair the car was 75-ish% of the total value of the car. So he said it was totaled. So he was the first person to tell me it was totaled. The insurance company, 4 days later, still hadn't contacted me about this, so I called them to see what their estimation was. And at that time, that's when they told me the car was totaled. So then they decided to let me know exactly how much they were willing to give me to replace the car. Now keep in mind, all told, I had... Okay.
Yeah, there was nothing you could have done there.
Yep. All told, I had spent probably $25,000 to $27,000 on the car when it comes to things like warranties and shit like that. The insurance company won't cover the warranties. They won't pay me back for that. They'll only pay me back for the car itself, which, fine, because the warranties also have a cancellation clause. I can get my money back from Toyota over it. So, no big deal. How much are you going to pay me for my $20,000 car? $17,000.
Now that's bullshit.
This would leave me upside down in the loan. I would still be paying for 2 years for a car I no longer have, and I'd still have to buy another car. I told them this was unacceptable. They said, well, and this is what they said to me. Well, the woman doesn't have enough insurance to cover the total of your car. I'm going to repeat that. The woman who hit me does not have enough insurance to pay me to replace my car. And because there were 5 total cars, so there was her car that hit me, or no, her car that hit the first car, so that's 2 cars. Then she hit me, 3. Then she hit the next car, 4. Then my car, when it was hit 2 other cars, which is not my fault in the slightest because it was a parked car, so I didn't get blamed for this. Because there were 5 additional cars involved, and everybody is supposed to get a payout, there was no knowing if she would be able to pay for my car. Furthermore, there was no knowing if she would have to pay for my deductible, the $500 that I have to pay in order to get paid for my insurance, because we weren't sure if she'd have enough.
That's retarded.
Of course it is.
Yeah, but insurance companies are up.
Yeah. So that was how we responded. This is bullshit, and we're not going to accept this, and you're going to make it happen. So they said, okay, give us time. So we gave them 2 more weeks. 2 weeks later, I still didn't hear anything from them. Now, keep in mind, we're getting rather close to the holidays. We were in middle December by now. Holidays is a time that I have to be at work, and I have very little time. The problem was that it was kind of on me to get everything done. To call them and bug them and things like that. I couldn't do this because it was the middle of the... Libra, hey! It was the middle of the holidays. Okay, let's get soy milk.
Does Libra items you get after picking up as well?
Yes.
Nice.
Everything. So, for example, the health ups that I may pick up will give me stat ups because of Libra. So I will actually gain benefits off of health ups now. Was that marked? Yes. So, yeah. So, absolutely retarded. Hello. First floor Joker, yes please. We're going to go ahead and take the nail. And we're going to take Brimstone, baby.
Why the nail?
Damage up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I just have to be careful with it because it also causes me to break rocks. So, yeah. It was up to me to get them to do their jobs. When I called them the next time, it turns out that this particular insurance company has now no longer... you're no longer assigned someone to take care of your claim for you. It's a pool. Whoever you call, like whoever answers the phone when you call is now taking care of your claim for the duration of that call. And then when you call back, another person takes over. And when you call back, another person takes over.
They didn't write down shit, did they?
Oh no, that wasn't it. So the person who I was originally pissed off at that wasn't doing their job correctly was no longer handling my claim. Luckily, I got a guy who was going to handle my claim, and he was going to do it right. Because when I called him and he said, no, they didn't change how much we were giving you, I went, that's stupid. That has me upside down on my claim. I'm not accepting that. And so he said, okay, let me try to reevaluate your car another way. So the big argument here was what's called the NDNA, something like that. NDDA, DANA, something like that. It's a book that's kind of like the Kelley Blue Book, and this book is put out by car companies to say how much their car should be worth, and this just so happens to be the book that my insurance company uses to value cars at. The problem is, the value this book gives is not how much you can buy the car at, not how much it would cost me to buy another of the exact same vehicle. This book tells me how much I can sell my car for, which is a much lower amount. So
again, insurance companies exist to make a profit, not actually help.
So they were going to give me $17,000 for a car that would cost $19,000, and I actually went and looked. So I went to look to see if I bought a used version of this car. So let's say I went to Enterprise, which was the place that I went to look. How much would it cost me to buy this car from Enterprise? With 32,000 miles on a 1-year-old car, it would have cost, I believe it was $18,000 something. So, I told him, look, this is not going to happen. I'm not accepting this number. I will take you to court over this because this is not okay. So he said, okay, well, let me try to reevaluate based on another evaluation method. Give me a week. And he said, what I do need for this evaluation method, I need your original paperwork for your car. Do you have that? I said, you are damn right I do. So he reevaluated. Hey, Meppy, how's it going? Welcome to the story.
Hello.
I'm not going to pick that up. So he reevaluated. So his reevaluation took... Now, you need to understand about this reevaluation. This reevaluation takes the total I paid for the car, subtracts a standardized amount per mile I put on the car. I put 2,000 miles on it in 2 months, so I didn't use the car, is what we're basically talking about. Takes the standard valuation, subtracts that, and we see if the amount he would give me now is more than the amount that he would give me previously. So he took the $19,000 that I paid for the car. I am so amazed I'm not dead yet. And then did the subtraction. Now, what needs to be understood is that I overpaid for this car. I done fucked up. I ended up overpaying for the car by a lot. The car should have only cost $18,800 MSRP. Should have been cheaper than that because no one pays MSRP. I ended up paying more. So this was my fault. He still took what I paid for it and worked off of that.
That is a good person, right?
Good guy. He ended up paying out. Now remember, the $17,000 was before taxes because they have to pay for taxes too, because they have to pay me. They have to pay me a reasonable amount. So before taxes, his new evaluation came to, okay, that is a really nice pickup. Holy damn! Look at that.
Nice.
Paperclip. Keep in mind, I now have Mom's purse. I can pick up something else. So he was going to end up giving me 18, which means that after tax he was going to give me 20, which all said and done was going to pay for, or it was like, wait, going to be like 21,500, something like that. All said and done, this was actually going to end up paying for my loan. Problem is, I still stupidly have to pay for my own damn deductible. This woman is supposed to pay for my deductible for me, but they still have to get through the claims process to prove that she has to pay for my deductible. This could take a while because there are so many cars involved. So for the time being, I have to pay for my deductible, and they will eventually pay me back. The problem with this is that this means that I am going to be upside down on my loan for a while, right? Because this does not pay off my loan. So I have to pay for my loan. So they were eventually supposed to get this. Problem. Because the loan was not going to be completely paid off by my insurance... This is probably going to kill me. Because my loan was not going to be completely paid off by my insurance company, they had to get something called a letter of guarantee from the bank to say that that State Farm, my insurance company, was going to get the title to my car. They would then own it. They have to own it to be able to give me something. So that took a while. So keep in mind, the accident was November 21st. 2 weeks ago, the loan was paid off.
Jeez.
4 months. I only got 3 weeks of rental car. So I've had no car for 4 months. And now I was upside down on my loan. Now this wouldn't have been necessarily a bad thing because hey, I'm only having to pay about $100 on my loan, and I'll get about another $400, and then I'll get $500 back from the company when eventually things happen. Not too bad, right? Problem: my bank is going to charge me a early payoff penalty. No, not picking it up. They're going to charge me an early payoff penalty. I get penalized because the loan is paid off early. So they're going to charge me another $100.
That's... Ow!
No, this is standard practice. Now, there's a reason this is standard practice. The bank, what they get off of loaning me money is they get interest. And the interest is only assessed on a monthly basis. If I pay off early, they lose money because I'm not paying them the interest over 6 years. And they lose a lot of money in this case because I'm paying off after 4 months, not after 6 years.
Yeah, but they still made at least some profit.
Yeah, but...
It's just one last gouge.
Yeah, it's just they were supposed to make more off of me than they actually did, and they're kind of upset about this. So they're going to charge me some more money. So my loan is still not paid off. I did not know this until after I did my last payment. And they just sent me a letter the other day saying, hey, by the way, you're late on your payment. You should probably fix this or we're going to have to affect your credit. So now I've got to go fix that.
That pisses me off. That should be illegal. honestly.
Well, I'm going to call them tomorrow when they're actually open. Keep in mind, they're not open today because today is Sunday. So I'm going to call them tomorrow about it and ask to see if I can have that waived, which I may be able to because, I may be able to have that waived. I'm not sure if I can. I can't guarantee I can. So, bad things. Okay, so, to recap so far, I have now reached a point where I have my loan basically paid off, and now I can go buy another car. Except now we run into another problem. When you get a loan, your credit score gets what's known as a hard check. What a hard check says is that multiple banks checked your credit to see, by your request, to see if they can, or if you have enough credit to get a loan. Hard checks generally don't cause problems because they're a temporary thing. They just said that someone checked your credit. But I will see if I will do an Eden run. I'm not promising anything because I'm still trying to do my Lost runs. By the way, I just kind of reflexively opened that chest. I was not trying to do this room. So they do a hard check. Hard checks generally don't cause problems. They fall off in about a year. And the problem is that they technically negatively impact your credit score. And the reason why is that if you have too many hard checks too quick, it makes it look like you're desperate for a loan. And desperate people are kind of bad credit risks. So I had multiple hard checks because I was doing a loan. That's kind of a natural thing. But the problem is this means that my credit score now, even though it's months later, even though I have paid off all of my, my loan.
Too low.
My
to get
credit.
Another...
No, not too low. But it is lower than it was when I originally bought the first car. Which makes very little sense because I paid off on time the exact amount I was supposed to, and now my loan is paid off. It'll be fine, I just have to contact the company over it. And just let them know, hey, this is going on. So it's just something I have to deal with, and it's a couple different types of bullshit, basically. Okay, so, then that's done. Next piece of problem, my license is missing. And we don't know why, is the thing. So, what I think is going on is when I went to I had to notarize a piece of paper that gave over power of attorney of my car over to my oh, god damn it.
Wow.
I
You forgot you were Stompy.
Yeah. So, notarizing this piece of paper gave power of attorney on my car over to State Farm, which is needed because when they total the car and give me my payout, they take possession of the car to get a little bit of money back from crushing it. And so they did that. But I took my license out for the notarization, and apparently at that point promptly lost my license somewhere. Not normally a problem. I can get it replaced. I have no idea where it is. The problem that's happening right now is I have to have a license to get a car, because they have to be able to prove that I can drive the damn thing. So I have to replace my license. In order to replace a license, you need to have a couple of different documents. Now, there's a chance that the DMV that you go to has your picture on file, and simply by going to the DMV with your face, you can prove that this license belongs to you and they'll just replace it. Problem is, if they don't have this picture on file, for whatever reason, you have to prove you are who you are, which means that you have to have a couple of identification pieces, which include stuff like birth certificate, passport, things like that. I have a birth certificate and passport. My passport is old. I haven't used it since I went out of the country to adopt my baby sister, which was when I was like 12. So it's a 14-year-old passport, but it still counts. And I have my birth certificate. Had both of these items. What ended up happening is my license was actually expired when I bought this car back in August. I didn't know. It had been expired for about 2 months. They still sold me the car because basically they wanted to make the sale. Still sold me the car with the understanding that I would go and get my license, which I did. Took these two items, put them in the center console of my car, went to get my license. And then, because I had to go immediately to work after this, left them in the center console of my car for an extended period of time. I actually think that Shoop to Whoop is better than Scissors.
Yeah.
So, now I did not leave these items in my car when it got totaled. As soon as my car was totaled, I emptied my car. So it needs to be understood, these items were not in my car. I put them in a bag, brought them to my room, and then I hung them off the footboard of my bed. Because, hey, good place to hang them. That was 4 months ago. I started looking for them again last week. Could not find them. Problem is, we had company. I cleaned, throwing away a lot of trash. I was worried the bag got into the trash. Now, Trance, do you know what you have to do to replace any one of these identification items?
You need the others to replace it.
Right. So, if I did not have my passport and or license and or birth certificate, I could not get any of the others. What I'd have to have happen is I'd have to have my mom go down to the Office of Births and Deaths, or whatever it's called, in the middle of Mardi Gras season. It's on a parade route, and get me a birth certificate. I could do it online, but it would cost twice as much, and it would take twice as long. Luckily, I just so happened to find them. They were still hanging over the edge of my bed, and I have a blanket that I, kind of habitually hang on the footboard of my bed. The blanket was covering them. But it was still a very worrying moment.
You were not expecting them to just be warm and cozy.
Yeah, I was not expecting them just to vanish, and I wasn't expecting to find them there either. I'm probably going to die here, just heads up.
Yeah, Duke of Flies, without high damage or some form of piercing, he's pretty much a death sentence.
And it's the orange version, which drops bullet flies too. So, now I have finally reached a point where I can go get my license because I have the requisite paperwork. I actually have a day off this week where I'm actually going to be able to get a car to go and do it. So now I have to go get this car. So, the good news, there we go. The good news about all of this is that the new car I'm going to get is a step up from my previous car. It's not only a year newer, so my last car was 2014, I'm getting 2015. It's actually the next, sure, I'll do it, why not? It's actually one step up, so it's a sport model instead of the limited edition model, so it's actually a step up. And I'm going to pay less for this car than I did for my previous one because I get to go through AAA in order to get a cheaper price. AAA, which we've been members of AAA for 10 years. AAA has this service that they provide where they will... can I force him to stay back there? Damn, so close. AAA has a service where they will they negotiate on your behalf to get a good car value, so you don't have to negotiate for it, and they lock it in. So, I can get them... so they're negotiating. So, instead of paying $19,000 for a year-old car that's not the best model available on that car, I'm going to pay $17,000 for the current year's model that also gets me a better version. This will happen eventually. But still, the trials and tribulations of me with my car that got totaled 4 months ago that I'm only just now able to replace. So I said all this because we were talking about getting another computer. I currently have a lot of money saved up. A good 3,000 or 4,000 saved up at this point. I have another paycheck coming next week, which will save some more. So what I'm trying to decide, one of the problems we had with this whole issue with the cars was that the down payment that I put on the car, the $4,000 that I put down in down payment on the original car, cannot be given back to me by any means. My insurance company won't... They'll only pay me what they'll pay me, so they won't pay me back for the down payment. And in addition to that, there's something called gap insurance, which has shown up over the past couple of years and is very important to Louisiana residents. The reason why it's important, the reason why gap insurance is important is that this insurance, you pay for it when you buy the car, and this insurance says that if and when your car gets totaled, if the payout from the bank or from the insurance company is less than what your loan is, gap insurance pays for the difference. The problem is it only pays for what the loan is. It doesn't pay for anything else. And before your loan is calculated, your down payment is taken out of the cost of the car, meaning gap insurance will not pay you back for your down payment. So I have enough money to make a down payment right now. Actually, a fairly sizable one at that. And considering the car is only going to be $16,000 to $17,000, $3,000 down payment is a fairly large amount. Now, there are reasons not to make a down payment, and they're fairly good. For example, one reason that you would not make a down payment is roughly every $1,000 you put down on a car in a down payment only takes off about $12 out of your monthly payments. So $3,000 will only lower my monthly payments by about $36 or so, which, while sizable, that's 3 hours of work at my current pay rate. It's not exactly this huge amount. On the other hand, $1,000 is more to the tune of 100 hours of work at my current pay rate ish. I'm rounding. So the question is, let's say I want to replace my computer. I have money available. Would that money be best spent put towards the car as a down payment, thus lowering my I'm resetting off this run. Thus taking down my monthly payment by about, $12 or so? Or would that be best served putting towards a potential new computer? So that's the question I got to think about. And I'm not sure. It's a good question. I don't mind having savings, so I was already thinking, do I want to actually put this money down, or do I want to have some savings available? Replacing my computer would actually help my household, because this computer runs just fine. It's just not capable of doing the things I want it to do. So if I replace this computer, I could then give it to my mother, who could use another computer because she doesn't have a desktop. She has a really shitty school-loaned laptop, which is infested with viruses. So this would help her out. It would allow me to do the things I want to do more. It would allow me to render games faster and move videos faster, so I'd spend less time rendering, more time actually playing, which I would appreciate. It would also allow me to play games in higher settings, which would be fun. It would be faster overall. A lot of good things would come for it.
It'll also be beneficial if you end up getting that partnership.
Well, the partnership is something I'm thinking about. I haven't decided on what I want to do yet, because partnership has a lot of things involved. I'm currently looking over a contract for partnership on YouTube. It's not as good as I would hope for. So it's the partnership split is about 60-40 when it comes to it, which is not as good as it could be. On the other hand, the partnership does give me a no lock-in contract, so I can leave at any time.
It's quite good.
Yeah, that's really good. Now, keep in mind, that is what most places are doing now because of the way YouTube changed things recently. You used to want to partner because in partnering, you would you wouldn't have to deal with content IDs as much. You wouldn't have to deal with copyright strikes as much. The game would just kind of give you, not the game, you'd be taken care of by your network. Not so anymore, unfortunately. That got changed by YouTube. So now, basically, the network would take care of you if you got a content ID match, but you wouldn't necessarily need it otherwise. The way it works now is that the network has to claim you as I think it's an affiliate is the way it's referred to as. They'd have to claim you. And the problem with the claim is that if they claim you, they do have to have a full-time staff member who checks your videos. All of them. Which is obviously not worth it for most people. It wouldn't be worth it for me because I wouldn't make enough, so it wouldn't be worth it to the company to check on me like that. So the question is, the question was, well, if this basic benefit of being a partner is no longer there, why should we opt for a lock-in contract with you? And the result was, well, you shouldn't. So a lot of companies are not doing lock-in contracts. There are companies I could go with. For example, there's one I recently heard about the other day called Unite, which gives a 90-10 split. But I'm not sure what the difference is. It's a fairly new network. It's operated under Curse. I'm okay with Curse. I'm not the biggest fan of Curse, but they're okay. So it's questions like that. So I'm still trying to decide what I want to do. Having a better computer would definitely be beneficial. So that would definitely be good. I am not 100% sure at this point. The car definitely comes first, but the question right now is how much money would I make off of a potential partnership? How much would the computer apply towards that? Like, how much better would my partnership be if I had a better computer? Things like that.
Going for the computer would likely enable you... Ooh, Ludovico, I just noticed that. Would enable you to do... not only would you be able to do more streaming, which could even result in a Twitch or other stream partnership,
of course,
which you could look into, but it also... Oh, the D4, it's so good.
But I have Ludovico.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. If we go to this Deal the Devil, and the Deal the Devil does not contain Brimstone, I will reroll. If it does contain Brimstone, I will laugh maniacally and probably win my run.
Yes, but it's a tough choice. I would say, well, with a better computer, you could also start doing 60 FPS vids.
I already do. Have been doing
You
so
could
for a long
continue
time.
doing also.
Like, I was recording 60 FPS videos before YouTube allowed 60 FPS. I was uploading them. They were going up at 60. They weren't actually doing anything, but it was easier for me than, downgrading, looking for things. It ended up making better videos at the end of the day. So I've been doing that for a while.
Honestly, what I would advise, keep at least 1,000 just saved as a sort of
Okay,
emergency
so this
reserve.
is kind of this fight's gonna kind of suck. Because I have to actually get the tier over to him in order to actually hit him. And I'm also trying to dodge him and move the tier at the same time. This is going to be a really shitty fight.
Yeah, keep some reserved. Dump $1,000 or $1,500 on a really, really good computer.
Well, it's something I got to consider. I can't do this very quickly. I need to talk to my bank, figure out what payment plan I'd be sitting on. Like, it's all going to really decide on that, because I'm paying for health insurance, which is a certain amount per month. I probably would end up paying for my car insurance, which would be a certain amount per month. Lunch, by the way, is helpful, because it is something that gets re-rolled. Oh, shit. Nope.
Just don't stay on a 90-degree plane with him, and he can't really do diddly.
That's the problem. I don't move particularly fast. Yeah, that was going to happen. He caught me in a corner. Damn!
Oh, might as well try that Eden run.
Well, that was stupid. I might. I'm really enjoying the Lost runs is the problem.
Yeah, but you can't turn down I cannot English today. Fewer requests. The Lost
Your tongue doesn't believe you when it says I cannot turn down. You know that I can turn it down.
No, it's not that my tongue doesn't believe. I'm just tired. I did not sleep well.
Yeah, it's just something I have to look at. If I can get monthly payments the way I want to, I will 100% get that computer. I'll be talking to you guys to get a good idea of what I need to get. Just, something that would last for a while. This computer's lasted for about 3 years on its current field of duty. Problem is, it's not very well upgradable, and that's the issue. It's, I could upgrade it, but it doesn't have enough baseline stuff to be worthy of upgrading.
Are you comfortable with assembling your own system?
Probably not. And that's actually more to do with what's typically found around my house. There's a lot of pet dander. There's a lot of hair, like dog hair. There's stuff like that. The risk of electrostatic shock ruining parts is very high in this house, so I don't want to risk it.
Would you be able to pay the shipping for someone else who you know and trust to assemble it?
Sure.
Then just say having me build the fucker for you would be worth the cost.
Oh yeah, like if that's a thing, we can do that. So it's just it's a matter of looking into, but it also, especially depending on how much it would drop it and how much faster it would be, or how much slower it would be to have it assembled and then sent over versus just having it pre-made. Because, for example, it may take a week for the components to get to you, a week for you to make it, a week for it to be sent, versus paying...
It only takes me like a day to put it together.
Okay. It's still 2 weeks general shipping time unless I pay for faster. On the other hand, if I just pay for it to be... Or if I just pay for a pre-made, if it's only $100 difference,
Not for the same parts. A pre-made, generally, you're looking at a 20 to 50% increase in cost. Or more,
that'd be considerably
depending on
different.
just who the maker is.
You, come here. Thank you. I mean, if that's the price difference we're talking about, then I'd be interested. Though, here's the question. Was that $1,500 an estimate on pre-made
assembling it via parts?
Okay. Yeah, then that's a significantly different number.
Yeah, it's... A computer I would build for you would cost you likely... With shipping from me to you, we're looking at about... I'd say around $1,500 to $1,700. If you were to just buy one pre-assembled like that, it would likely run you... See, it's tricky. It depends on who the maker is. There's a couple of factors.
And the other question that needs to be brought up is also stuff like, this is a boss room, we're on basement, it's going to be Monstro plus Larry, I'll do it. The other question is stuff like warranties and things like that. Pre-mades tend to have warrant. Oh, shit, damn it.
While they have them, they're not. They cover nothing. The typical pre-made warranty, what was it that I always saw? The one that pissed me. Oh, it only covers damage not caused by user.
That's typical
part
for warranty.
Defect, factory defect, external sources, acts of God. Basically, the way it's set up for almost all of these is it only covers damage that isn't caused by things that cause damage. It also typically, especially in the case of some of the more popular bands, you have to pay for shipping both to and from them to repair it, and they only accept certain kinds of shipping.
Yeah,
which
but
are
I can
very
but I can get
expensive.
warranty through Newegg, for example, and theirs is good.
In that case, though, you'd still have the warranty on the parts,
Yeah.
just not the fully assembled machine.
That's something to think about. Then I got to go talk about it and see what I want to do. And in fact, in a couple runs here, I think I may be taking a break because, one, I haven't eaten today, and two, I think someone is home that I need to talk to about this. But I may. Like, it's definitely a thing I can think about.
I'm always there, so...
Well, and also I can do, like, I think fast shipping on multiple parts may actually not be all that expensive. So
It's usually not. Hell,
if I do all the parts all at once.
yeah. And you're a friend. I wouldn't even charge you to assemble it unless you wanted to pay me for it.
And we would definitely be talking about that. So what specs are in this computer? Now I'm kind of curious, now that I'm thinking about it seriously.
The one that I'm estimating for you? One moment, let me pull it back up. One of the most notable things is the video card. It's your choice of either an XFX R9 290X or a GTX 970, depending on whether you
GTX is
prefer.
NVIDIA, right?
Yeah.
GTX would probably be the preferable one because NVIDIA's been, like, everything's being made for NVIDIA lately.
Yeah, although I don't think the 970 is actually the right course of action because the 970 itself has some memory issues. I'd probably go with the...
Let's see, Secret Room should be here. I think
The
it's
Radeon might be the better choice for the current generation. 16 gigs of RAM, or more if you want more. We could totally get more. Again, it's customization is the thing. Damn good motherboard, because that's one of the most important parts of it. One of the things to note is I will not be using any form of liquid cooling in any system I get for anyone I know. Simply because liquid cooling is... It's good, but air cooling is just so much more reliable.
Yeah.
For processor, as good as Intel stuff is, I'd honestly, like, I don't like Intel very much anymore. What I'd probably get you is a either a hex core at 4.1, like the one I'm running, or maybe even an octo core if you wanted.
It depends on how much the price difference would be. And speed difference.
It depends on whether the programs you're running can take advantage of it or not.
Well,
The,
I have no problem against future-proofing. So if the programs can't deal with it now, they might be able to deal with it later.
Well, a Vishera, that's the 6-core running at 3.9, overclockable easily to 4.1 gigahertz. That is only $125. It's way better price-wise than the Intel equivalent, which is a quad-core, runs somewhat slower. It's a quad-core 3.5.
Yeah, see, I'll put it this way. I'm running on a 6-core right now. I'd probably not want to downgrade.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd probably stick with the Vishera then.
And I'd at least want to go for a 6-core. If 8-core is like affordable, maybe even that just to future-proof it.
I cannot remember what the name of the 8-core is, so it's going to be a bit before I can pull up the information on it. It's not Octorok.
Okay, that is rubber cement.
Bulldozer? No, that's an architecture. This is going to drive me... Oh, no, it's still a Vishera. An 8-core Vishera is 170 for 4.2 gigahertz.
So $30 more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would go for that.
Yeah, the Visheras are a really,
crap.
really solid processor line. They're actually kind of old, which is interesting. Yeah, here's the top of the line one for the Vishera. 8-core, 5 gigahertz per core, but that's $240.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's a little bit more than I'd want to pay.
Yeah.
But it's something I could upgrade into later. But I mean, it's tempting.
We'd probably
but...
just go with the 8-core Vishera at 4, not 5, because honestly, 8-core 5 is massive overkill. Like, absolutely massive. That's what you use, ironically, if you do a lot of video editing, but...
Yeah, so, like, that's what I'm trying to decide, you know?
Well, how much editing do you want to do? I'm talking, like, heavy video conversion on system.
Well, I have to do that sometimes. Like, for instance, whenever I pull stuff off of, like, a system, for example, when I do that, I do have to splice together video and audio, which does require editing, does require work. And the problem is, like, it doubles the, like, it's 40 minutes for recording at the moment, plus usually 45 to 50 for the conversion, to splice the videos together. So it's a typical double-length thing. When I do an Isaac video, I record it for an hour and I'm done.
I still think the 8-core 4.0 would be sufficient for this, especially since with editing and conversion, your video card also assists.
Yeah.
And the video card is where the real payload comes in. Now, the problem with video cards is, of course, is they are expensive.
Yeah.
Like...
For some reason, I thought I had a bomb.
Like a 290X, which is a really fucking amazing video card, they're almost $400 each.
God damn it.
And that's if you get them on sale.
Yeah.
They're the minimum you want. They're really, really, really good. Like, you will be future-proof for a while with one of those. It's not exactly getting, say, a Titan, of course, but you're not dropping that much on a video card. Have you seen how expensive Titans are?
No, I was actually about to ask.
Let me pull up real quick. I don't even know if Newegg sells them because they got such a low sale rate. These are video cards that cost more than some cars. There's, like, the NVIDIA Titan class, I seem to recall, like, yeah, here's one. It's $600. And that's not...
Okay, we said cars, I'm thinking 20,000.
Yeah, about that. That's one of the lowest end Titans at 600. There's, like here, the top end that Newegg has available is $1,500. That's more than some used cars.
Yeah.
And this is not designed to be used alone. You're actually supposed to use 3 of these.
I was actually going to ask about,
it's powerful.
Like, if that's worth doing for a computer.
The thing is, it's worth doing, but I'm trying to think of the right way to word this. The only reason to do that is when you're already at the top of the line and you need even more power. Like, if you could afford to dump $800 on cards, you're better off buying an $800 card.
Yeah.
it's so it's only when top of the line is not enough power that you start needing to do that.
That's moderately terrifying.
Yeah. This is for people who have things like, well, for example, this is for something like, say, what's the resolution on your monitor?
1920 by 1080.
Yeah. Now spread a game across, well, put 5 more monitors to your left of exactly that power, 5 more monitors to your right of exactly that power. Got me so far?
Mm-hmm.
Now, make that whole array about 4 more monitors tall. That is what this is designed for. That level of picture.
God damn it. Fucking gurgling.
It's beautiful, but it's incredibly expensive.
Yeah, not needed.
Yeah. For you, you'd do fine with a R9.
Yeah, unfortunately, gurgling's just cost me Max's body. Cricket's body.
Max's cricket?
Yeah.
Bang, bang, Max's silver cricket came down upon his head. Do, 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 do. Anyway,
That was kind of weird.
I'm kind of weird.
Agreed. Okay, that was a total MLG Pro move, and it didn't turn out. God damn it.
Womp wah.
I used a Mullaboom to break a tinted rock, but I had to move really fast to position him right. Oh yeah. We're doing the good Mullaboom moves today. Okay, we'll make this last run for now, and then I can actually go figure out food, because eating is important to living.
Try not to die.
I'm trying not to. It's not exactly the easiest thing not to do. Entropy being, you know, the prime force of the universe. Okay. Item room contains... Fuck all. Resetting. Come on, give me just one that has an item room right there so I don't have to work that hard. Thank you. I keep getting told that people will reset until they get the item they want. And I'm like, I can't do that.
There's no shame in resetting until you get something that isn't crap. There is shame in resetting until your first room is a curse room that transports you to a deal with the devil with 9 lives, brimstone, Ludovico technique, and a free hat.
Man, I would love to see that deal with the devil. Can we make that happen?
Possibly.
No, Ludovico technique is not the deal with the devil room.
It can happen.
Technically, if you completely run out the deal with the devil item pool, which is not going to happen on the first item room.
Or if you import if you bring in a judgment card, because doesn't he pull from the item room pool?
I don't think so. I believe Judgment has his own pool he can pull from.
If your item room has the D6, though, then it can pull from any other pool.
But the problem is you'd have to reroll so many times you've gotten rid of all the deal with the devil stuff. You're not doing that in one room.
Well, no. What you could do is, if you get the D6 and a judgment, you bring them both into the deal with the devil, and you reroll whatever judgment drops, it could reroll into an item room thing.
Right.
And the devil thing, so you get your Ludovico from the judgment reroll, and you get the brimstone from the devil.
Possible. Unlikely as hell. Possible.
Oh, yeah, it's not fucking happening, but... And
I mean,
now that
I'm
we've
sure there's a
said
seed
it's
that
not
does
fucking
that.
happening,
Yeah.
It just happened to Northern Lion.
Damn it.
Just now. How much you want to bet?
I would not be even the slightest bit surprised.
Yeah, this is a... Northern Lion is... That man is high on luck-up pills in the real world.
Yeah. He just gets 1 runs. Like he did a first floor 1 run. He called 1 run after 3 rooms.
He's had his first run with the Lost. Wasn't that also his first Mega Satan kill?
I have no idea. I didn't watch his Lost runs because I didn't want to get depressed.
He his first 2.
I will say if I get
became his bitch.
if I'm able to
I
get,
don't think he's won since.
oh no, he's won Lost entirely. He actually did a just for fun Lost run. He's beaten Lost multiple times. The only thing I can think that makes me happy about the whole Nerdline situation is the fact that I took a month off of playing. So technically, I've actually played less than he has, and am still kind of caught up to where he is. But he's a lot better than I am.
Not checking out your item? Oh,
I already did. Mom's contact. Or Mom's eye, sorry.
I knew that. It's just testing.
Mom's eye? I think it's Mom. Whatever. Freezing effect.
Mom's contact.
Thank you. Okay, I had it right the first time.
Yeah, Mom's eye is the eye on the back of your head.
Right. No, then my library gave me Book of Belial, so. Good first floor. Now we need a freaking Holy Mantle. That would make this a 1 run, right there, if I could get Holy Mantle. But I haven't seen Holy Mantle in a very long time. Almost got killed by that. Trying to take out these flies from the side while still watching out for this Claudie. And it's scaring me. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. We will Book of Belial, which will be nice. Lemon Party is a great pill to find. Full health, not so much. What is that? Dookie F? Dookie F, you're just going to get shit on.
Well, cried on.
Yeah, that too. Done. 8 Ball's actually pretty okay.
I think
Death, okay.
it's shot speed up and a free tarot card. It's not great, but it's
an item.
Yeah, it's certainly a thing that exists.
Okay, this room scares me. Unfortunately, what it isn't is a teleportation card that would get me out of that curse room. And that's what I was really hoping for. We do have an arcade. I probably am not going to use it.
Yeah, no real point. The big draws from arcades are kind of useless as the Lost.
I mean, there's things at TM that I could do in the arcade, but there's nothing, nothing amazing. Not doing too bad, Meppy. I'm hungry, but that's about it. I'm enjoying my day off of work, with the knowledge that tomorrow work's gonna suck.
Major release or
Manager meeting.
Ooh.
Held at my store. Every manager in the district's gonna be there, including
That's
the district
fun.
manager. 4 hours of us sitting around talking about what we're going to be doing over the course of the next couple of months.
The hell is there to talk about? Yeah, I'm gonna keep selling video games. What about you guys?
I think it's worth it.
Huh?
Yeah, we're going to do that.
That's pretty much what it is, isn't it?
No, there are actual strategies. There's things like who's doing what midnight launch, things like what are plans that you have, have you partnered, whoa, my god, have you partnered with any companies to make the midnight launches cooler, stuff like that, who are, you know...
I know out here, midnight launches, they only find out if they're happening like 2 days before.
Oh no, we learn about 2 weeks ahead of time, so we learn a little bit earlier than you might expect. The thing about midnight launches is that you have to have a certain amount of pre-orders to be able to host one. Now, when I say be able to, what I want you to take away from this is GameStop giving you the hours to do it. You can host a midnight launch if you want to. Nothing stops you. But they won't give you hour support unless you have enough things. So you're using hours from other parts in the week to do it. Which means that the rest of your week is going to be understaffed. So it's entirely up to you on whether you want to do this. Do you guys love pizza? I do not, unfortunately. This is weird to a lot of people, but I actually used to work in a pizza company. I have eaten a lot of pizza in my life. I'm no longer the hugest fan of pizza. I like pizza.
I'm fond of it, but it's certainly not tacos.
Yeah, I like pizza. I will eat pizza. Damn it.
You will also eat bullet.
Yeah. I like pizza. I will eat pizza happily, but I don't go out of my way to get pizza.
I've got to use the restroom, and you need food. Shall we call this a stream for now?
Yeah, we're gonna call it for now. Hello, Everducks. I hate to say it, you're literally catching us as we were walking out.
Yep.
I'm gonna call it for now. I'll probably be back later post-food.
Later sounds good.
Yeah.
See you then,
We'll be
viewers.
back a little bit
And
later.
remember, never forget to floss your nipples twice a fortnight. If you don't, goblins will fly out of your bunghole.